Hello to all the readers of Italia magazine. I'm Hannah Bellis, the editor, and I'm here today joined by incredible food authority Valentina Harris. Now, we're at the Bertinay Kitchen in Bath, and
Bertinay Kitchen.
Yes. You can see from our aprons we have been cooking today.
Let's take your label off.
My label off.
The lesson's finished.
The lesson's finished. We've been cooking our way around Italy at the Bertinay, which anyone can do. Please come and join Valentina here. But Valentina, you also teach in Italy, isn't that right?
I do teach in Italy, I teach in London, I teach at various other places. I can also come and teach in people's homes, if they would like that. Yeah, you know, teaching about Italian food is really my thing. It's a way for me, I guess, Hannah, of reconnecting with the country I really love and really understand. And I've always said, since the beginning of my career really, that you know, the best way to get to know anywhere is through your taste buds.
Of course.
Because your taste buds never lie, you know, and also they leave a food memory for you that is very, very strong. It's very, very easy to reconnect with somewhere through a sense of taste.
It's
you
true.
know, for me, the moment I'm around rosemary in cooking, I'm back home in Tuscany, you know, because that's where rosemary is in everything, you know, it's a sort of a permanent ingredient in all sorts of things. So, and you know, strong punchy flavours like garlic and chilli and stuff like that take me, even if I'm here on a grey, wet day in England, you know, I will be transported back to the south of Italy where those flavours are so very, very prominent. So
you were talking today about the holy trinity of Italian food and the three ingredients that went in there, and I was surprised to hear that garlic wasn't one of them.
Oh no, absolutely not. There is this complete fallacy about, you know, all Italian food being full of garlic and everything, but you know, that is negating the fact that we have 20 different separate cuisines, and one for each region, and that within those regions there are the provinces, and the provinces all vary as well. And yes, there are some fairly heavy, garlicky recipes, I grant you. But to go into an Italian restaurant, as I see so many people do, and have a plate of garlic bread before the meal, what are you going to taste when you've done that? You know, I mean, how possibly are you going to get to the subtle flavours of what Italian food is all about? I mean, I remember, far too long ago now than I wish to remember, Hannah, but when I first went and proposed a series to the BBC about, you know, regional Italian food, which was eventually made, in the 90s and launched my TV career. But I remember being in this, you know, incredibly scary, great big boardroom, you know, lots of portraits of people I'd never heard of on the walls, and feeling very much like, you know, the newbie. And this long, long table with all these very, very serious people, and somebody, I have no idea who he was, to this day, no idea. If you're out there, I'm sorry, who said, well, you know, I really don't see the point of, you know, making a series about Italian food. I mean, why would you want to do that? It's going to be so boring from a visual perspective. I mean, everything's covered in tomato sauce. Ooh. It's all red. You know, and that was not, you know, in the dark ages. That was, you know, the beginning of the 1990s.
I think today, certainly the readers of Italia will know a little bit more about the regionality of the cooking, and that's really what you specialise in, isn't it?
Yes,
the different flavours of the different regions, and that I think is perhaps what your courses are sort of focusing in on.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I run residential courses where basically you can come and have a house party with food, really, that's really what it's about. And I run them in Umbria, and I run them in Sicily, and other parts of Italy. I've run them in Venice, I've run them all over the place, but in Umbria in particular, I like Umbria because it's in the heart of Italy, and it's easy to get to from Rome, you know, or if you're prepared to fly with, you know, the other airline, you can even fly straight into Perugia on odd days, and as long as it's not a Wednesday, you know, that sort of thing. But at least, you know, you can fly into Rome from anywhere relatively easily, and it's not a difficult drive. And you're right in the heart of Italy, so you get the best of everywhere, really. And it's legitimate, it feels legitimate to celebrate the best of everywhere because you're right in the middle. Umbria itself, if we want to wrap it up in 5 minutes, Umbria cuisine itself, it's about principally the black truffle, because this is its land. You then have, I know some people may find this hard, but you know, if you're from Umbria, it's really important, the lentils. So lenticchie di Castelluccio are supposed to be the best lentils, you know, ever. The game, particularly the wild boar, and chocolate.
Ooh, chocolate.
Yeah, Perugia. Baci Perugina. You know, with their love message. That is, Perugia is the city of chocolate.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so you know, those 4 elements with amazing red wine. And a lot of people agree the best olive oil in the whole Italy because it's not sort of light and evanescent like the olive oil of the north, and it's not in your face, strong, oily, really oily and heavy like the olive oils of the south, and it's not peppery like the olive oil of Tuscany.
I don't like that when it gets you at the back of your palate. It's stripping almost, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to be brought up with it really to be able to deal with it. But Umbrian olive oil has a little bit of all of those elements, and they sort of come together. I don't know, it is amazing olive oil. So I like going to Umbria for all those reasons, and I run courses there. And I can run, you know, anywhere because you know the BBC gave me this great gift. It was, you know, the BBC that asked me to make the Italian regional cookery series, and I spent a year on the road in a Fiat Panda with my producer director, schlepping the length and breadth of the country. When I left, I was a size 10. Seriously. And I lost my figure completely. I mean, you know, in the new book there's a picture of me not quite that young, but you know, that was it. That was the end of, you know, because I ate my way around the country.
You were acquainting yourself again with the. I mean, not a bad job. But
no, not a bad job at all. And what I learned really has stayed with me. And to me, I think, you see, that if you ignore that Italy has this very, very defined regional cuisine, it's a bit like ignoring the Sistine Chapel or something. You know, it's so much a part of Italy's culture, it's so much a part of what makes it so special. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the world to that extent. It does a little bit, you know. In India, you know, Madras cuisine is different to that of Bangalore, and, you know, etc., etc. You know, there are differences like that, but India's a whole continent. Here we're talking about a tiny little boot-shaped country sticking its nose out into the middle of the Mediterranean, and within its coastal boundaries, and to the north the mountain boundaries. By the way, did you know the expression for an Italian about something that's outside of the country?
No, tell me the expression.
The expression is on the other side of the Alps.
The other, I suppose, yes.
That's the border, you know, that it's something that happens on the other side.
What would it be in Italian?
Oltre Alpi. Oltre Alpi. You know, because anything from the south doesn't really count, you know what I mean? But beyond the Alps, it's sort of, you know, the rest of Europe. I mean, I'm being very disparaging here, but I don't mean to be. It's just an attitude thing that in conversation, you know, they say, oltre Alpi. So yeah, you know, I really did learn with the BBC about the differences between one region and another. And to me, it's you know, desperately important to keep that alive, because it is this, you know, if you hear, you know how Italians are forever on the mobile.
Yes.
As soon as you land at Fiumicino or Milan airport, right? One of the first things you notice is they'll and then they go, "Mama." Always it's man of all different ages. No, sono arrivata, and it's you know, it's always very funny. But then if you, like me, a terrible eavesdropper, you realise very quickly that what they're talking about is food. and it's a conversation that will be, I mean, on the beach, on the bus, you know, whilst they're outside having a fag break at work, I mean, over their cup of coffee, on the way to take the children. There's normal, it's about food. And
I mean, what a lovely way to live.
Yeah.
And what a lovely way to be able to dip into a society, even if you're from outside there. You can get to know all the different regions reasonably well by sampling the dishes and learning to cook them. It's, you know, it's
exactly. I listened to them say, you know, I made red mullet last night or something, and oh, you know, how did you cook it? Well, I did it in the Livorno style last night, because my husband isn't so fond of it. He likes it the way they do it in Sardinia. But, you know, when we were in Sicily last summer, we had it with, you know, and a whole conversation evolves, and it's always about, you know, how to cook something in a regional way, you know. And I think that's just tremendous, because I think it just holds it all together somehow, and you know, makes it so diverse and so interesting. And there's nowhere else in the world where you can be, you know, up on the east, in the top eastern corner on the border with Slovenia in the morning, drinking beer and eating, you know, the equivalent of sauerkraut with an Italian twist, and mustard, and you know, all those sort of things. Hop on a train and you're in Naples by the evening, having a quintessential pizza that has taken a minute to bake in an oven and is wafer thin and is, you know, fragrant and crisp and amazing. And how different are those two types of cuisine? And yet both of them are Italian.
And both within, you know, you're making me hungry, Valentina.
No,
we've had so much food, but of course, if you can't get to one of Valentina's courses in Italy, it's all right, because she has just released her foodoir. Now,
my foodoir. Here's the foodoir. Foodoir, everybody. There we are. Unmistakable cover.
It's a beautiful cover. Now we have got some recipe extract and some of the text, because what's special about this is that Valentina's recipes here are so linked to your life and the stories of your family. So we are lucky to sample some of this in Italia 104, but it's a treasure trove, really. I loved reading this book. It feels so personal.
Yes, it is very, very personal. I mean, I'm not going to give it all away, because you do have to go out and find out about it for yourself, but these are the stories that have been told around the table in my family and that I have retold over the years, and it was obvious that they had to be put into a book at some point, and here they are, finally, in their book. And you may be slightly surprised to learn that they're not just Italian recipes in here, because there are recipes from America and recipes from Belgium and France and even Russia and Morocco and Turkey, because the family travelled around so much, and so I've tried to link it with recipes that I remember eating and cooking with my mother or my grandmother or my aunts and my cousins that come from those places. So yeah, this is what it is really. It's recipes and memories from my family's kitchen table, and it is a wonderful, I think it's a beautiful book. I'm very, very proud of it, and it's out on the 6th of June.
6th of June!
Yes.
So do look out in Italia 104, we'll be running this preview, and there will be a special reader offer. So if readers want to get hold of a copy at a special price, they just have to buy the issue and they get the unique code.
Fantastic, that's a great thing. Wonderful.
And we're delighted to be able to share a taste of it, so thank you.
Thank you very much, absolutely. Thank you very, very much. So I hope to see you in another cooking class.
I'm sure you will, I'm sure you will.
Okay, well, salute then.
Salute. I think that went very well. Good. Let's stop it and just make sure nothing's gone very, very wrong. No, it looks good.